What's up, everybody? In today's episode of Level Up, we're going to be taking a look at the new OBSBOT camera, or not so new to me, because I just noticed it, or, OBSBOT reached out for me to take a look at it, and I thought, wow, yeah, I want to test it out. $149 webcam, 4K, 30 frames per second is what this thing can peak out at, and it can do some really cool features like auto framing. You mean like this auto framing? Hey. Let's check it out in today's episode of Level Up. All right, here we go. The OBSBOT Meet 4K. I'm just going to tell you, man, OBSBOT has really been nailing it as far as this webcam market. It is my favorite company of the big four. It used to be the big three. Now it's the big four because OBSBOT stepped in and said, hey, we want to play. And not only do they want to play, they are kicking some serious butt while they're doing it. This is the Meet 4K, and yes, you can see my daughter over my shoulder peeking in through the window.
Gosh, your car is blocking it.
Now, before we go any further, full disclosure, OBSBOT did send this camera to me. They wanted to know if I would review it on this channel, so they sent it over or sent me a link to it. I checked it out. I'm like, yo, a 4K 30 frame per second OBSBOT camera, webcam, at $149 availability, and it's got some of these really cool features. Yeah, send it over. I want to check it out so I could show it to you guys, and you guys decide, is it really worth it? But I thought, you know what? This is a price point where it's bringing some features I don't see in a lot of other cameras at this price range. So yes, we're going to check it out. And so does my daughter. She wants to check it out. She's just itching to come in here and play with it. All right, so there you go. That's the full disclosure. And as you guys know, I work by an ethics statement that I live by on this channel, where I tell all my vendors, you can send it to me. It does not guarantee that I'll make a video. And if I do make a video, anything that I say in my video will be my opinion and my opinion alone. You get no say. And I get to upload it whenever I want, do what I want. And I want to do what I want. And what I want to do is review this for you because I just think this is really cool. But at this price point, does it do what it says it'll do? Let's find out. It's over here am I pointing the right over here? There we go. We're pointing the right spot. So now you can see the audio interface. You're looking at the user interface over here to the side. We're going to run through it so you guys can see what this can do at $149. And as got my little mousey right here, you can see on the bottom left-hand corner, it is 4K, 30 frames per second. When you click on this button, it says it's available in 1080p, 30 frames per second, 720, 30 frames per second, 540, 30 frames per second. I'm looking at the website. It also says that it does 1080p at 60 frames per second. I'm guessing it's not showing here right now because I have a lot of the auto features turned on, just so you guys can see what this can do as far as out of the box. So there you go. Let's see what happens when we turn auto framing off. Just for a second. This is auto framing turned off. This is the view and the image that the OBSBOT Meet 4K gives you out of the box. Now, the auto framing gives you that PTZ feature that the $329 OBSBOT Tiny 2 gives you, budget price. By clicking auto frame, it crops in a little bit and allows the camera to follow you around. So as you see right here, no matter where I go, it's going to keep half of me in this frame no matter what I'm doing in my shot. So if I want to just take my chair and go for a ride, it's going to make sure that my upper body is in this frame the entire time. That is really, really cool. All right, so then close up, I'm beating and banging into all kinds of stuff. Then upper body, we click to that, and you're going to see as I move around, it's going to keep me from the waist up. Check it out. Close-up gets you even closer. All right, turning auto framing off. I'm in this spot right here. And yes, I have a little bit of a messy office. It's been a little busy, if you haven't noticed this time of year, with it being Christmas as a pastor, being in video and technology. That's one of my primary responsibilities here at the church. Also, kids' church is another one of my primary responsibilities. So curriculum, plays, programs, videos, graphics, you name it. This is a really busy time for me. So my schedule's kind of gotten out of whack. So I'm trying to catch up, staying a little bit late tonight to get this video in for you guys, and that's what we're doing. Wide, medium, and narrow gives you framing, just like the auto framing did, but this is fixed frame, and you can kind of do a shot how you want it. Close, medium close, wide close, medium close, wide close. All right, moving on. You know, when your auto framing is on, it chases you around the scene. The gimbal will only work when you go to like medium or narrow where it's cropped in. Now it gives you the ability, with it being cropped in, to move around the frame. So gimbal will not work in wide mode because this is the entirety of the frame that the OBSBOT Meet 4K gives you. Moving on to the next page, image. We've got face and global tracking. So you kind of click from one to the other and it kind of, again, global to face, self-explanatory there. Auto exposure, I've got it turned off. Auto, this is what it's like turned on. Compensation, what is compensation? Well, an auto exposure, this is where it wants to go, and then you can kind of adjust the baseline from there. So even though it's an auto, you can set where you want the auto to go to when it's like at home base, so to speak. Let's turn auto exposure off, because I don't like auto exposure. I like custom. I like my settings. Shutter speed is 1/60. Why? Well, rule of thumb, whenever you're recording anything, your video format, whatever frames per second you're using, you want your shutter speed to be double that. So we are recording in 30 frames per second. Shutter speed is 1/60. ISO, you can bring that down and adjust it on your own. This is 100 right here, which is really dark. And then like a mirrorless camera, you want to get your ISO down as low as you can get it, and then crank your studio lights up as high as you can get it to get you that best image as far as framing and that serious cinematic photography or videography look. But with the Meet 4K, that's really not what it's designed for. So I leave it at 400 as far as ISO. I think that's the perfect happy place. Really, ideally, this webcam is for people who want to get into content creation but aren't trying to get serious into videography. Good is good enough for them. It's more about the content. $149 gives you a lot of features, gives you 4K in a webcam, does a really great job at that. So 400K, lights aren't as blinding, not going to make you go blind when you're shooting your video. Right now, one of my lights happens to be directly behind my Meet 4K because, I don't know, I didn't take enough time setting it up. Don't judge me. But anyways, my light is over here and my camera, I didn't set my camera up in a better spot. My light is directly behind the webcam, so don't judge. But, you know, I'm in a hurry. I'm thankful that I don't have to do 100 ISO with a bright light behind it to compensate for that. Nope. 400 ISO, a light that is on, lighting my face, but not blinding me. It's the way to go. All right. White balance is turned off when it's on auto. As you can see, there you go. It makes an adjustment there. But as you see, I have a TV right there. And if that TV is on and playing something like a screensaver video or anything in the background, when that changes colors like greens to whites, it affects the white balance on your screen. So it'll adjust the color of my face as that screen is changing. Total mess, especially when it comes to editing later in post. Like 1 second, your face is orange. The next second, it's really light, and then it's orange again. Now, turn your auto white balance off if you have anything in the background that is fluctuating as far as color or brightness. 5300K is where I've got my lights at right now in my studio, so that's where we're going to keep the temperature at in the video. Down below, we have contrast, saturation, sharpness, and hue. This was at 50 originally, but I had to go back and reshoot this segment because I had multiple cameras or multiple microphones picking up my voice, and it sounded like an echo chamber. So we're recording this again. I'm a little rusty. So this is sharpness out of the box. This is what it looks like. And then if you bump this up to about 67, which if you did notice, that's where I like to have it for me, just to kind of give it that crispier image. For beauty, there are things that you can use. Background blur, you can use it. I would not recommend it. Number one, because yes, you're giving that bokeh effect, but it's creating some serious lag. I'm using an M1 MacBook Pro. Hardly anything's on this thing. It packs a lot of punch. Shouldn't be lagging like this, but it does. So I guess you need a serious $5,000 computer for this not to lag. Odds are if you got the Meet 4K, you're not using that kind of computer anyway. So I wouldn't use this. Well, let's just see. Blur level's 8. If we bring it down, does it fix the lag a little bit? No. See, I still feel like there's lag. So it's available for you if you need it. Retouch, as you see right here. native, classic, and men. Those are the people out there that love to take pictures of themselves and love to give themselves that soft skin filter, Snapchat or whatever those apps that are out there. This can give you the same things. And then down here, we've got body slim, leggy, legs, waist, shoulder, head. Does all kinds of funky stuff to your body. But again, I think it induces a lot of lag in here. I don't like that, so I don't touch it. And then down here, we've got filters. You've got fresh, clear, crystal, just the color of your screen as you see right here. And then like black and white. Oh, that don't look very black and white to you? Well, just take the level of black and white as you see right here in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen. You slide it and boom, now we are officially black and white. So what does that mean? All these filters right here, you can adjust the level of the filters. All right, so that's the beauty section. And then more, what do we have? We have device sleep, auto sleep. How long does it go into sleep mode if you're not using it or if there's nothing going on? 2 minutes. Virtual background and beta mode. I haven't really touched that yet. So check out some other videos of people who've gotten into that. It's still in beta mode. So I really don't mess around a whole lot with anything in beta mode because it's just, odds are it's not going to perform the way it should yet. Audio. Well, guess what? Yeah, this webcam has a built-in microphone like the OBSBOT Tiny 2, like these other webcams that are out there. They're starting to bring in their own microphones. You're traveling, you're in a pinch, you just need some audio. Don't have to be great. Well, they give that to you. What does it sound like? Well, let's check it out. All right, so now I am no longer using the Earthworks SR117. This is the microphone that is built into the OBSBOT Meet 4K. It is full blast right now, and I'm just looking at OBSBOT or OBS, and it's peaking right now. I'm about, I would say, a little less than 2 feet, maybe 18 inches to 24 inches away, and I am peaking in the same voice as you heard earlier at, I would say, negative 22 decibels. So you're probably going to need to bump this up in post if you're going to use this for video production, but again, it'll do the job if you're just trying to do a conference call. And as we scroll down, now we're back on the Earthworks SR117. Image flip, what this does is it makes it real. So when you point to your right, it's going to look on the screen like you're pointing to the right. When you point to the left, it's going to do that because right now I'm pointing to my left, but when I look at the screen, it looks like I'm pointing to my right. It can be confusing when you're trying to show things in the studio, like, where the little user interface is that we're trying to go through right now. I'm pointing to a wall over here when on my screen, it's over on the right. That gets confusing for you. The image flip will solve that problem for you, but of course it does also flip the letters on there. So just be mindful of that. Here's where you can update or upgrade your firmware, export log, manual upgrade, restore factory settings, all right there. This is the preview button right here, video preview. You click this, gets rid of it. Preview button brings the OBSBOT software preview window right there for you to look at. So on the top, we've got the power button, sleep mode to resume, turn on sleep mode, turn it off. You got your remote control feature right here to turn this on to activate your remote control. Global hotkeys if you want to assign some keys on your computer to do some funky things with this thing, that's available. And then here is your virtual camera. Turn that on. Once virtual camera, can you see it? There we go. Once the virtual camera is enabled, please select OBSBOT virtual camera in the camera options of your video conferencing or live streaming software. Please note that the original camera video stream will no longer be available. So there you go. All right, so that's my run through the OBSBOT Meet 4K. First impressions, is it worth $149? I think so, especially when you consider the other main competitor in this $149 price point, the Elgato Facecam. A great user interface, allows you to control your webcam, but again, you're capped out at 1080p. Here with the Meet 4K, you've got 4K, 30 frames per second. And then, of course, it also has that PTZ feature, which is the auto framing, where it crops in and then it will follow you around the frame. That's a really cool thing that it gives it. It has the microphones built into it. They're not great, but they are wonderful if you're traveling and using this for work and you don't want to tote a whole bunch of gear with you everywhere you go. You just want to be able to have them see you and hear you a little bit better quality than if you're just using your laptop. This is going to do it. So there you go. I give this a double thumbs up for $149 because of the feature set that is in here. OBSBOT is, once again, to me, nailed it. I love the HDR color quality in here. I love how it just really hits those blacks. I mean, just looking at it one more time, closing it out. When you turn the HDR mode off. This is pretty much what the Insta360 Link would look like with your blacks. Some of the other webcams out there at that $300 price point would look like with their blacks. But OBSBOT just, I think, does an amazing job with HDR, giving you those deeper, richer colors. And I like that. All right, so there you go. The OBSBOT Meet 4K. Absolutely love it. Double thumbs up. If it's in your price range and you're looking for a webcam to go with, this is definitely one of them. And hey, just don't go by my opinion, because you know what? You do you, boo. But I definitely recommend checking out some other videos, some other reviewers out there. They may have gotten in here and found out some neat tricks or found some problems that I didn't find. And I absolutely encourage you guys to check out some other videos before making the purchase. But if you need to know what I think, thumbs up. All right, that does it for this episode of Level Up. My name's Mike Newman, and until I see you guys in the next one, I'm out.